That seat was won by a simple majority of 1,261. And it will again be featured as one of the most competitive seats on the island. And then the next seat is Pematang Pao. As you know that Wan Aziza, the president of PKR, is running as a proxy to the de facto leader of PKR, Anwar Ibrahim. And that seat was won with a majority of nearly 590. And she's meeting the same candidate again, Firdaus Ismail, who was the ex-national imam from UMNO. And again, that will be a highly contested seat for one thing, because of the perception. Our analysis seems to say that the Indians are going against the government. The Chinese are not too happy. There's a silent voice within the Chinese. So, as a political analyst, I find that a very worrying communal analysis and communal perspective. And I think the Pematang Pao seat will be able to give us an indication whether it is solely race-centric, the movement, the swing will be solely race-centric, or it means more than that. It means that the ruling government should be looking at issues affecting all Malaysians, and the swing will be merely driven by issues and not communal. Because at the end of the day, you will find still segments of Indian community and segments of Chinese community supporting the government. So let us not look at the contest, the election, as a race based on your race judgment or your communal judgment. I think that is very, very wrong. I think we should look beyond that. And the third seat, I think, will be quite interesting. Again, that will show whether the race analysis is correct, will be Batu Kawan. Batu Kawan was formerly contested by Huan Cheng Wan, who won the seat by a net of 2,446 majority, because there was a three-corner fight in 2004. And that seat, again, will be contested by Dr. Khoo, the acting president of Gerakan and the outgoing chief minister. He will be contesting against a very renowned professor, Professor Dr. P. Ramasamy of DAP. And that is a very mixed area, where you have 56% of Chinese, 23% of Indian, and almost 21% of Malay community, of Malay voters. So again, I think that seat will prove to us whether or not voters do vote on color of the skin, or color of their skin. And I think the results, the outcome of that contest will definitely be, will show to us that it is more than, a skin deep. The election is moving towards that way. I think for political parties that underestimated, the majority of the voters will be in for a surprise. You can no longer go to the political rallies and tell people that, everything is come down to race. I think that majority will have to be respected. I think more by and large, the sentiment of urban voters have gone towards more issue-centric area, more issue-centric. They'll be calling for better governance, better transparency, more accountability. I think you can see the movement of that. Let's talk about the state seats. I will not be running you through all the state seats, but merely giving you a number of seats that I think you should be looking out for. In the last 2004 election, BN won 38 out of the 40 seats, right? And I think before we even go to that, it's interesting for us to look at the mix of the seats. At the parliament level, there are 3 Malay majority seats. And you have 6 Chinese majority seats and 4 mixed seats. That is for the parliament area. Mixed seats means no one single community holds the majority in that particular constituency. For the state, there are 6 Malay majority seats with 70% and above voters coming from one particular community. 14 Chinese majority seats with 70% and above, and you have about 20 mixed seats. So from the makeup alone tells you that no single race-based party will be able to come into power in Penang if they do not promote a non-racial political ideology and manifesto. So you can see that Penang is becoming more mixed, more multiracial. Alright, let's go into the state contest. I went through the analysis and I thought that some of these state seats will be very interestingly contested. One is definitely Sungai Puyu, won by the incumbent Pi Bun Po, who is now contesting against MCA Tay Lei Cheng. And he won the seat by a mere 607 votes. So on the mainland, I think that will be a very interesting seat to contest, to look up to. Mainly because it is part of the Bagan constituency, and the DAP Supremo Lim Guan Eng is contesting in the state seat as well. So naturally, the mainland sentiment is moved by political personalities. So again, that will be an interesting seat for you to watch. The second will be Bagan Dalam, contested by the incumbent Supaya of MIC BN. He won the seat by 1,900 votes, 1,967 votes. And because of the heightened Indian sentiment, I must use that, because going around that area, I find there is a tendency for emotive playing a part in the next, on the 8th general election, on the 12th general elections on March the 8th. There is some emotive element involved, and that again will be an interesting seat for you to watch. Next will be the seat held by PAS, by Handan Rahman in Pematang Pasir. That is part of the Pematang Pau constituency, and again PAS won the seat by a very thin majority of 679. That seat will be hotly contested. It will be a gauge, a barometer of the impact of Anwar Ibrahim. The BN UMNO said that Anwar is a non-issue in this election. He is no longer effective. And I think the barometer will be felt in the Pematang Pau parliamentary constituencies and adjacent state seats as well. The next one will be Penanti. Again in the same area, won by BN Abdul Jalil by a mere 667 votes. The next is Padang Lalang, an MCA seat, held by Tan Teck Cheng, 535 votes, and I think he is contesting again this round under the MCA ticket. Brai, without saying, I think some of the Indian voters will be able to tell you there is a very, very hot seat. If you want to see, the Hindraf heat, I think Brai will probably be the one that you can feel the most. Incumbent Rajapati is not running in the seat. The seat is now contested by Krishnan Lechumanan, the MIC secretary for Penang, and that seat was won by a thin majority of 583 in the last election. Again, on the mainland, you see the thing, you can find that the heat is all on the mainland. Bukit Tambun, won by the incumbent Lai Chiu Hock, and now replaced by Huan Cheng Wan. Huan Cheng Wan was the former MP for Batu Kawan area, and Bukit Tambun comes under the Batu Kawan constituency. And there was a three-corner fight in 2004. And if you count the votes won by the two opposition candidates, knowing that, it is not the right analysis to be used, meaning that not all PKR candidates who do not have, who now doesn't have a chance to, DAP candidate, DAP voters who don't have a chance to vote for the DAP candidate will swing towards Guardian Line. It may not